If you're a Skyrim fan, I'm sure at this point you've seen 10 other videos detailing what makes Skyrim special. These other creators have most likely gone in depth on the mechanics and worlds crafted by Bethesda that separate it from other open world RPGs of its time. I have no desire to bore you with another deep dive into the design philosophies of this decades-old game. In this video, I just want to tell you a story about a moment during my first playthrough that solidified this game as one of my favorites of all time. It was just your average Skyrim day, me and Lydia out adventuring through the vast lands of Tamriel, plundering tombs, desecrating ancient graves, and fighting long-forgotten dragons. I would lay back as a masterful mage, casting the most powerful of spells, while Lydia pushed ahead, tanked the damage, and of course, carried my burdens. I, like many a dragonborn before me, had grown quite fond of this snarky Housecarl, yet everything would soon end in disaster. This story begins at the base of the Labyrinthian, an ancient city surrounded in mystery, as me and my beloved servant entered this long-forgotten metropolis, built centuries prior by the dragon cult, as a monument to the very same dragons I was now sworn to hunt and destroy. Yet after this day, the dragons scared me no more. There were things far more dangerous in the land of Tamriel. As we passed through this primitive ruin, my mage could not have anticipated the danger that would soon befall us. Out of nowhere, 3 frost trolls barreled down upon our position. We drew weapons, ready to stand our ground. I quickly fired off multiple fireballs, noticing no difference in the enemy's health bars. Lydia swiped and slashed with her sword against these beasts' thick hides, yet they remained unfazed. It took us mere seconds to realize we were completely outmatched. After all those dragons slain, dungeons raided, and time spent mastering the ancient dragon tongue, was this really going to be the end of me? I, at the edge of my health bar, uncorked a shout in the ancient dragon tongue, Fus Ro Da, giving me just enough time to escape with my life intact. Yet as I exited the Labyrinthian and turned around to face the beautiful sunset, I saw something that changed my life forever. Lydia was gone, nowhere to be found. And as I pondered what possibly could have happened to her, Journey's End began to play, and the realization finally kicked in, as I comprehended the weight of Lydia's sacrifice. She understood that we both couldn't make it. Someone had to stay back and distract those damned beasts that were on our tail. It doesn't surprise me that Lydia was the one willing to make that sacrifice. She had been by my side since the beginning, fighting my battles, tending to my needs, and of course, carrying my burdens. Never asking for anything in return, yet when she needed me most, in the heat of battle, I turned and ran. I wondered what she would have thought of me, watching as I fled, while she turned back to the trolls with no chance of victory, outnumbered and outmatched, yet honor-bound and duty-driven, purpose prioritized. I'll see you in Sovngarde, I thought to myself as I overlooked the horizon, knowing that I'd never get to spend another moment with the one who had experienced Skyrim with me for the first time. I wondered if she understood what she meant to me. I never did get the chance to express that to her, how important she was. The amulet of Mara sitting in my back pocket, the one that I was waiting for the right time to use, would go forever without a recipient, with no one to wear it around their neck. The Dragonborn. I didn't deserve that title. A coward I was. A failure. I spent the next few days in the College of Winterhold, in the depths of the library, hoping to find a spell that would allow me to reanimate my dear Housecarl. Yet, there was no magic to bring her back to life. No book that would teach me the incantation to reanimate my dear Housecarl. It was over. Our journey had come to an end. I never did take another follower after that day. Lydia was irreplaceable. There wasn't a soul in Tamriel that was worthy of carrying my burdens from then on. I'll see you in Sovngarde, dearest Housecarl. Now, I know I said I wasn't going to do any analysis on what makes Skyrim special, yet I figured it would only be right to briefly explain the systems this game implements that make it unique to me. When thinking of Skyrim, the first thing that comes to mind is the world. To this day, I have found only a few games aside from Skyrim that make me feel like I am living inside of the world. Looking at the beautiful landscape still gives me chills, especially when that soundtrack plays. The land of Skyrim is diverse and beautiful. There are lush forests, grassy plains, snowy mountaintops, swampy marshlands, flowing springs, and long-forgotten ruins. Each of these areas are expertly crafted and serve a key purpose, whether it be for a quest or otherwise. The scale of Skyrim is unrivaled. Approach a mountain and watch it grow as you draw near, then climb it, traversing to its very peaks, allowing you to see for miles on end. At any time, take a screen capture of this game. I guarantee it wouldn't be out of place in an art gallery. The graphics may not hold up to 2022 standards, but the art direction and design are far better than many modern games. Skyrim is more than any single system working well individually. When it's at its best, all of the mechanics are combining to create an experience far greater than the sum of its parts. In what other worlds can you pick up and interact with any item? In what other game of this scale does every object have a degree of interactivity? You see that basket, you can pick it up and put it on the shopkeeper's head, then proceed to rob him blind. It's systems like this that allow the player to create their own fun, create their own stories, that make Skyrim a land of opportunity. While the main quest and DLC are good on their own, it's truly the sandbox nature of Skyrim that allows the player to create their own meaningful experiences that elevate this game above the standard fare open world RPG. I've seen many videos recently harping on Skyrim's flaws, the jank, the exploits, the cut content, and missed opportunities. Some would tell you Skyrim is a mile wide and an inch deep. Maybe there is truth in these claims. Maybe Bethesda has re-released this masterpiece a few too many times. I can accept that Skyrim has flaws. Many flaws, in fact. Looking back, maybe Lydia wasn't quite the in-depth companion that I had remembered her to be. Maybe these stories in my head weren't due to gameplay or mechanics. Maybe it was just an overactive imagination. Yet, my love for this game only continues to grow with each subsequent revisit. Call me nostalgic, but Skyrim is perfect to me.